There are product launches and there are product launches, and this has the hallmarks of one to remember. We have been invited to an estate just west of Paris with the prospect of experiencing a type of shoot that is notoriously difficult to pull off. These days it's rare to find and, of course, incredibly expensive to deliver. Driven English partridge.
They'll find every conceivable angle, corner to get out of the way rather than go forward.
Laying on this incredible shooting experience is shotgun manufacturer Browning. It is launching the new 825 shotgun and wants to do it in style as 2025 marks Browning's 100th birthday.
We decided to choose 2025 to launch the 825 because we're going to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the over-under shotgun. So please compare with the competition. I think it's the full package.
Even though we're on a French shooting and hunting estate, the style is English. It's an influence driven by estate manager Thibaut and delivered by an English head keeper, Steve. To get everyone warmed up and for our first feel of the 825, there's an evening clay shooting session. The birds tomorrow will be a lot faster and a lot lower. Johnny Carter gets the measure of them.
It's just a bit faster. I mean, it's a lot faster than the sporting gun. I guess is the point. Start behind it.
With our belching gun bus warming up, estate manager Thibaut briefs the gathered international shooting journalists before heading off to the first drive.
It's a row of numbers as far as I can tell.
Hopefully a good day, Charlie.
Well, it has the makings of it, doesn't it? We've got fabulous frost, we've got some of the finest guns in Britain here. Yeah, and me.
We are double gunning, and my loader, or chargeur as they are known in France, is Vincent. He's a fireman by trade. And with me, Vincent and David all in a butt, it's a bit of a squeeze.
Yeah, it's sort of more Bedfordshire than I expected. I was kind of thinking it might be more, you imagine grey partridge country being Hampshire, Downs, edge of Downs, and this has got a slightly bigger, flatter look about it. But the way they've described how they produce the partridge here, that cover crop is a work of art, and as the guy who runs the place says, it's a hotel for grey partridge. They're all flying off to central Paris. I've just seen just a tiny little covey hop up and hop down again. We don't really have grey partridge like this in the UK, so I don't know what to expect. Maybe if I'd been around in the 1930s I would, but...
You were you?
Yeah, well, obviously.
When was the last time you shot grey partridge?
More than 20 years. There are shoots which have grey partridge. There are Arundel Castle, Sandringham, and it requires an enormous effort, and I'm really looking forward to finding out how they produce them in numbers here, because by their own account this is spectacular in terms of how many partridges they've got. I think they did everything they weren't supposed to do though, which is one of the problems with partridges. They never do what they're told. So, big blanking area over there. Obviously the partridge is going to come towards us. No. They head for the Arc de Triomphe, which is that way.
So far, so partridge. Once that drive is complete, we stay facing the opposite direction and the beaters bring in the ground from the other side.
Look. the perfect partridge, but the horn's gone. I got my first partridge, first grey partridge in 20 years. So I just feel I shall sit back and just, and just sit out the rest of the day. I've done what I've come to do. They flew a lot like grouse, not as fast, but the whole experience has been very grousey, and this kind of, I don't know, extraordinary pleasure of knowing that it's grey partridge. I don't know why that should be a thing, but it really is. Merci beaucoup, merci. C'est très gentil, merci beaucoup. Look at that, my bird. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. Ouais? Ah non, seulement ouais, merci beaucoup. It is absolutely beautiful. And also delicious. We have this, emotional capability. We can look at this and go, it's lovely and yummy at the same time. I think if you were anti-shooting, you probably wouldn't be able to do that.
What was fascinating yesterday, I didn't know that these actually are native to this part of the world anyway. This is an English partridge, actually is a French partridge.
Well, I suppose so. It's northern France and England are very much the same. They've got the chalk streams of northern France and the chalk streams of southern England. The similar landscape, and the grey partridge would fit both of them perfectly. Whereas the red leg, or very similar, the Barbary partridge, they're all southern European, aren't they? So it's just that we found that if you want to hold them, the red leg does better.
Yeah.
And when we saw on this one, they may be very lovely birds, but they're extremely unreliable. He said they were packing up, but they are really packing up. Right. Nice to see you. I mean, what you've done here is absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like it. No, I mean, I'm sure you sort of sit there going, well, I actually went that way and they should have come back. Really, the amount of partridge you produce, it's amazing.
No, it's we're getting there. It's a work in progress. Here they go. Look, they're coming back in.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that.
Go around for the next drive. We'll push on now.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well
Could
done.
have been actually some of that lot that went into this hedge with a bit of luck.
Thibaut gives us one of the many important strategies employed by the estate, which they believe is essential for rearing these amazing little game birds. It's their multi-species, multi-layered cover crop strips.
The first one is a strip of maize
Right.
for the cover, winter cover and the food.
Yeah.
The second one is a strip of sorghum, not very tall, as well winter cover and food.
Yeah.
This one is a strip of switchgrass, which is similar to your canary grass in UK.
Okay.
It's a nesting cover.
Yes.
The next one is a very short grass for the chicks to walk when they are very young.
Yes.
They don't need a lot of cover. This one is good in the spring because it's wildflowers, so flourishing in the spring and summer. And it does provide insect, which is a key and very important for the chicks. And the last one is lucerne. Lucerne is important for nesting cover. And the additional thing we are doing is we are not spraying the first 15 meters along the game strips to protect the insect. And so habitat management, we've got one feeder every 100 meters and one drinker every 100 meters because we don't have water during the summer, plus pest control, and here we are.
But you put them here in between July and August in chunks, don't you, in carries?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, the release program lasts 3 months, between July and early September. We release them in small group of coveys, 20-25 birds, small pen. We've got a lot of very small pen, and you release them into groups of 20. You leave them in the pen during 3-4 days, and you start to release them, not the whole group, but 5 by 5. You leave a pair on it to recall the other one, and that lasts 3 months, and then you're okay to shoot.
And why do you do that? Is that because they fight each other? Why?
Is to have to keep the covey as small as possible, because they do like growth. They start to pack up during the season, and if you release them early, one batch at the same time, they pack up. So you need to do that progressively. And we do have wild partridge as well. So what we do during the spring and the summer with the partridge count, and regarding the result of the partridge counting, we released the additional stock that we need for the season.
Are there other estates like this in France?
I don't know any other estates that do that in France because it's really complicated. It's not profitable at all, as you can imagine. What we are doing there in Saint-Ricourt is quite unique here.
On to the next drive, and we're getting into the swing of things.
Sorry, Alexandra.
There are pheasants in these drives too, plus deer. But we're here for the greys, and I stay focused as I may not shoot another one in my lifetime.
Les deux, avec la caméra.
One distraction between drives is David asking me what I think about the new 825.
I've got to ask you, you're wearing this little gilet with 825 on it, so we're here to celebrate the start of a new era for Browning. Are you enjoying using your new 825?
So, okay, I am not a gun person, no, really. Now, I like the ones that shoot straight. I mean, you could say the 525 was functional, and people love it for that. You might even have said the 725 was a bit flouncy. This is a very easy gun to shoot. So for somebody who doesn't know a great deal about guns, it's really, really good. I think more than that, I can't think of a better recommendation.
So have a word with Mike Yardley, maybe?
I think let's start by asking the god of shooting, Mike. Yes.
As we end up asking Mike to deliver a masterclass on driven pheasant shooting, we get Johnny to do what he does best, but we only give him 60 seconds.
Charlie's good at a lot of things, but perhaps not this. Generally speaking, we start at the back and work our way forward. The shape and style of the pad, the quality, style and finish of the wood, the checkering, the grip. The grip on this 825 is about one of the best out-the-box grips I've ever tried for my hands. Obviously hard to get it right. You want it big, but not too big. Too big. Want it too big?
But you've got big hands, though.
I do have. They're very small for my size.
Oh,
we're hand brothers.
Oh my God.
Oh. You my dad. The action is a 725 base action, but with sharpened up parts, improved trigger pulls, different safety style. And they say they haven't done too much to the safety internally, but the new safety catch style just makes that safety feel much tighter and slicker. New top lever, much more improved in terms of ergonomy. New checkering style, the 75 was a bit sharp. They've smoothed it off, made it longer, wider, and just better to open and close. The action is the same depth, but to make it look shallower, they've changed the lines, changed the rounding here, and also changed the way the monoblock is fluted into it. On the grade 1, I wasn't sort of super sold on it, but now having seen it with a full engraving, it's nice. This is the Pro Sport, perhaps not the one you choose to shoot at game, but you know, if you're young and a ruffian and like shooting heavy guns, this is the one. I love the engraving, sort of style, the acanthus, flowers, reeds, just real out-the-box thinking, laser engraved with hand finishing. All in all, pretty special. To top it all off, a brand new choking system where you can get chokes at every 5 thou. For those of a more conventional thinking, that's every 8th. So you have cylinder, skeet, quarter, slightly more than a quarter, so like a light modified, heavy modified. There's 10 chokes, 10 chokes! And that's how you review a gun in 60 seconds.
Couldn't have put it better myself, Mr. Carter.
That was the mind scramble. It's where there's one there, there's one there. Vincent's putting the cartridge in there. I'm trying to get it over. You know, oh, Gordon Bennett. Yeah, I mean, when they start coming, it gets very, very confusing. Very confusing.
It's also cosy in here, isn't it, with the three of us?
It certainly is. I mean, I think our dance moves are getting better, definitely. I sort of dosey-dose David and then kind of thrust into Vincent, not over here.
After the drive, I chat with my neighbouring gun.
It's a real treat because actually there aren't many times when you get to shoot in a line with someone Italian on your left and then someone looking like an 18th century Norfolk gentleman on my right, and then
She's talking about me.
And then also the Spanish contingent at the end of the line. It's actually rather lovely. It sort of feels as though the common language of hunting in one line, which often we're in our own sort of geographical echo chambers, and so it's rather nice to see see what other people do, how they do it, and why they do it. And fundamentally, probably, we're all pretty much the same, just slightly different shooting styles.
The best is saved until last. This is a drive I will never forget as long as I live.
Wow.
Enjoy that one?
Yeah. I mean that was at its absolute finest. You couldn't do better. Really. I mean, I could, but all this couldn't. And again. Partridge the other side.
It's an amazing drive, Charlie.
It was still going. Have I missed the horn?
No, still going.
Still going.
I'm trying to get the moment.
Yes.
The moment.
The moment's coming right behind you. Concentrate on that. Whoa. Slight problem with balance there.
You got it.
But I got it. I haven't had a drink all day, but I feel like I deserve. No, oh, look at that. Bomb. Ah, it's just been gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, should you come all the way to France to enjoy this, right now, sell everything, move here.
I shoot a few, I miss a few. And what a glorious end to a red-letter day on grey partridge. Even Steve the keeper is weak at the knees.
Hold that up and just show us what you can say. We've got the two different kinds of partridge there that we
red
know.
leg and English grey partridge, yeah.
Yeah. And you were a keeper in Morocco as well. Did you have the red leg in Morocco?
Barbary reds.
That's different again.
Yes, but they fly like these,
Okay.
and you work them like these as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're just completely different birds to these. These you can drive every day of the week, all day. The grey partridge, you have to treat them with a lot of respect because they won't give you the time of day. They'll find every conceivable angle, corner to get out of the way rather than go forward. So you've got to really be on your mettle to.
This is an extremely well put together drive. How often will you drive it this season?
I would only like to do it once a week. Well, when we do it, yes, we'll do it probably 12 times in the season. That's all.
that last drive. You said it was like being a youngster again.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I mean, we all suddenly felt like 12-year-olds with the gun.
Yeah, I was a boy again, basically, because as I started as a trainee at the age of 15 on a wild grey partridge shoot, basically on the Dorset Downs, and that was driving grey partridge over tall hedges, ash belts, coming over like that, really 30 yards up, and it was normal.
You must have felt quite proud that it worked.
I knew what was going to happen to that. As I saw the birds coming through the line and going out over the top there, I knew that on a different day they'll keep going and they go over onto the garden centre, and that's them done for the day. But today I watched them pitch in. That east wind helped on this drive, because it just pushed them, settled, and then we got them to come back. And once we got round the back of them, I knew they were ours, because they were just going to come straight down the line. So,
and they did.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was amazing. Thank you, Steve.
Spine tingling, that was actually.
Steve, Thibaut and the rest of the team have worked hard to present a challenging little bird in volume and at speed that is rare in modern shooting, together with French hospitality and English traditions. Speaking of tradition, Browning celebrates 100 years in 2025, and the new 825 is worthy of that milestone. For more information about the shotgun, go to browning.eu.